Hey everybody, welcome back to Champ and Sons and our PGA 2K21 series following Bubba Champion. As we see, we are in the Tall Palms Classic at the Jumeirah Club, and we're going to take a quick look at the leaderboard and where we stand. And we were powered by a big eagle on the 18th hole yesterday to get to 9 under par and a tie for the lead. We did put together a pretty solid first couple rounds that helped us also get there. Now we are second in the FedEx Cup standings, and we're going to see if we can't try to get ourselves improved a little bit better before we finish this tournament. Hopefully we will be number 1. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. The Tall Palms Classic at the Jumeirah Club.
PGA Tour event. We're at the Tall Palms Classic. Today's coverage is about to start. Pleased you could join us for this final round action. I'm Luke Elvey, here alongside Rich Beam. And Rich, it's the final round in this one. What's our next?
That is going to be a 73, almost 7,400 yard course, so it's not too bad. It's got a windy little layout. There's lots of fairway bunkers, and the rough is hectic. Once you get into it, it's going to take a lot to get out of it. So that is something we're going to have to keep a watch on. We don't want to go hacking into the weeds anywhere. So we're going to get this started off here at the first hole. It's a par 4, 480 yards. So, it's got some distance to it, but easily reachable in 2 for beasts like us. And we're going to hit a pretty good, solid first drive right down the middle of the fairway. We're going to let that wind work for us as the ball just kind of gets floating on down the way. So now our second shot, we got to hit into this 10-mile-an-hour wind. And that is the wind is going to be killing us all day today. I can already tell you. So we're going to be trying to put lots of backspin on this one. And hopefully it doesn't loft itself up too much coming into it. But we did take a 5-wood, so yeah, just slightly too far. Just slightly too far. So we're at least going to get a pitch, though. A little chippy, little chipperoo. Getting onto the green. Need to get it over that ledge. We're going to give it a go. And I chili dipped it, pretty much. That's practically a chili dipper. So we do have a decent putt for par. It's only 7 feet. The slopes on these greens are just rough. It's hard to get a handle on them sometimes. So we escape with a par on that first hole. Still tied for the lead after one with Patrick Cantlay, Mr. Tommy Fleetwood. Tony Finau trails by 4 strokes to all of us. So now we come to the second hole, this par 3. The hole is below us about 180 yards, but once again, the stupid wind is starting to continue to blow in our face, starting to make me angry. And we get a pretty good swing, but look at this. The wind. It's only 11 miles an hour, but that's acting like hurricane force. So for the second straight hole, we miss the green in regulation and are going to have to try to get it chipped up close so we can make that putt. And we're going to go with a little gap wedge. I'm going to pull it back and let it loose. And it's going to get right on up there. That's a heck of a chip. Mr. Chipinski, he's maybe thinking about making a showcase today. As we get an easy little tap in for the par on number 2. And let's see if we're still leading. Well, before that, apparently. Let's check in on the 18th hole. Let's see what's going on there. The game will ever load it, for God's sake. That takes too freaking long. Ooh, Ian Poulter. It says he's even. That's not his tournament score. That's just he's even for the round. And with the big old pitch in on a par 5 to get to 1 under for the day. Ian Poulter's had a rough turn at this tournament. He's not doing too well. And we are still tied. 2 holes in. 16 more holes to go. We are still tied for the lead. Now we come to our best chance, a par 5. the third hole. We're going to take it straight off, although it is into the wind. And that wind has been making our ball balloon up like crazy. I have a 9.5-degree driver, and I'm hitting it 400 feet in the air. Gosh dang ridiculous. We'll hit in the heavy stuff, but it luckily bounces out and gets us in the fairway. So that we can deal with. And one other problem we tend to have with this course is the slopes on these fairways. There's nothing flat, nothing easy. Like that thing just shoots to the left. I put a good swing on that. A good swing. And the game's going to try to chingale me like that. I'm not going to have it. Not today. So now we have our third shot here on this par 5. And this is not going to be an easy one. It looks like it should be pretty straight on, and it's just a simple little pitch, but hitting into a 13-mile-an-hour gust with steep slopes all around us. And we got a good little pitch up onto it. Ew, that rough is that. Even the light rough holds us up. You got to be kidding me. Now we're coming up on our fourth shot here on this par 5 from off the green. The third hole in a row, we've missed the green in regulation. This is not looking too good. A good little chip, kind of pull it some, but it is going to go trickling by the hole and stop with an easy little tap in for the par-rooski from 3 feet away. And it does drop. So we remain at 9 under. We're 3 holes into this thing, even for the round. Still making our way through. But bad news, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. Cantlay has dropped to 10 under par. And we are now tied for second with Tommy Fleetwood. That is how you say no bueno in Spain. So here on the fourth hole, par 4, got a pretty good drive coming down the left side. But it's going to take a rough kick and just, that's so lucky. The luck of the Bubba Champion Irish as it rolls into the fairway, leaving us with about 170 yards coming up here for our second shot. So we are going to take an 8-iron because we got the wind at our back. And I'm going to completely push that. So, yeah, not very well. Well struck. And then with the thick rough. And you can just see the disappointment all over Bubba's face. He's hurting right now. We're struggling. Got to do better. And it takes a look like we're getting a little shot from what's going on at the 7th hole as Mr. Kevin Kisner with a long birdie putt coming up. And he will actually drop that. You've got to be kidding me. From about 50 feet away, he gets his birdie. That's 2 under for him on the day as we are remaining even right now. But all that could change if we don't put together a good chip on this shot. And I'm telling you, this rough is a killer. Okay, and we get a pretty good shot, and it's going to actually roll, but look at how much that holds up. Goodness gracious. All right, par putt, 6 feet away. We can make this. And I almost shanked that putt. That got kind of lucky. Better lucky than good, they say. I'm not sure who says that. Normally it's people that aren't very good at stuff, but still. Good news, ladies and gentlemen. We have tied for the lead once again because thankfully Mr. Cantlay has started choking and dropped back down to 9 under. So now here on the 5th hole, nice little lovely par 5. They decided to put a fairway bunker right in the middle of possibly our path. Got to get it to hold on. We speed it up a little bit because I cannot stay in the anticipation. And we end up in the fairway about 130 yards away with a pretty decent lie for our second shot. I'm going to put lots of spin on this one. I do need it to hold up with the type of club I'm taking, the 9-iron. And that thing is flying. Look at that bad boy, just dropping heavy on the fringe. And with where that ended up, that's about the best I could ask for. Give me a decent little chip up to the hole. And we get a good little shot, almost making it in. It kind of starts to come off that little ledge right there, little ridge, but just doesn't have the speed. So we are going to be stuck 4 feet away for the par, which, of course, we drain it because that's what we do. We just make putts, sink them all day. like a great former golfer known as Shooter McGovern. And we are dropped down to second place now behind Cantley, who decided to go back to 10 under. And I'm not sure if those of you who remember the story of Shooter McGavin took on a former hockey player. I think he got sick from eating pieces of dookie for breakfast or something. That's sort of how the story goes. I'm not exactly sure, though. Anyways, back to the golf round. On that shot for the 6 off the tee box, we do nail it down the middle of the fairway. And which is pretty, we're hitting the driver well. It's these approach shots that have been hurting us. This time I'm taking the 5-iron going into the wind. I get a pretty good swing on it. And that ball is going to, I need it to kick right, and it rolls to the left. Ay, ay, ay. Even when I hit it good, I still can't catch a break. Oh, well. We do have a birdie opportunity. Really a true first birdie opportunity of this round. And we're going to strike that putt. Beautiful stroke. God, we just don't read it. You got to be kidding me. It's going to just scooch right on past the cup. And we are going to have to once again tap in for par. This is starting to get annoying. Our one birdie opportunity we've had, and we miss it. And Cantley still holds the lead at 10 under, and we remain one back for the tournament. And so here we go to the 7th hole. Another winding little par 5 with a thin fairway. And we're going to beast this drive right down the middle of this fairway. That is beautiful. But going into the wind, that only goes 289 yards. And so that's going to be a little tougher of a second shot. The way that wind is playing, we have to be careful with this. And we completely pull it to start, so that's not very good. And the wind helps push us into the thick stuff. No bueno. No bueno. All right, so now from the thick rough. It's going to slow us down to about 78, 79% shot. And this slope is going to shoot the ball straight off to the right. So we aim fairly decent left, and it's going to land. And we get a pretty good shot, surprisingly enough. That had so much potential to go horribly wrong. But instead, we're left with a 9-foot putt for birdie. Second attempt of the day, and I completely shank it. I have the little putter shankopotamus happening. As I have another little 2-foot tap in for par. And we are still even through 7. So as much as we're kind of messing up, it could be worse. You know, we haven't made that catastrophic mistake. We're still one shot back from Cantley at 9 under, but now the rest of the field is starting to catch up a little bit. Fleetwood is still tied with me at 9 under, but we got a couple others coming up here at 8 under par for the tournament. So here on the 8th hole, it's a par 3, fairly short, should be easy to play on. And I pull the shot, and I let the wind also take me to the left. So that'll leave me with about 50 feet, give or take, for the birdie putt. And 50 feet's not really much of a big deal if you think of it in terms of being, less than 20 yards. So there you go. And we give it a good old-fashioned wallop. And just right by the hole again. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Little tap, tap, taparoo for the Parski here on number 8. This is starting to get annoying. How close we seem to be coming. And Mr. Tommy Fleetwood is now tied with Cantley at 10 under. We're stuck at 9 under. But we're maintaining, I guess. We're still in position. One stroke is not that far off. Still, it just gets annoying. And we will get a good beastly drive down the middle of the fairway. Finally, we're going to clear 300 yards. We haven't had too much of an opportunity to do that all week, or at least all tournament, because of the wind that's been going on. And it's playing havoc on us. And so now we're going to check on Sergio Garcia at the 15th hole, as he's at 4 over for the day, so not doing too good. I guess, in perspective-wise, our round could always be worse. We could be like Sergio. Like Serge, Mr. Serge. All right. Now back to Bubba. on our second shot here at the 9th hole, par 4. Slightly into a 12-mile-an-hour wind, so we do have to be careful with that, especially when you push your shot like I just did. At least I sped it up, but good to know. The putt did land on that one ridge and send the ball flying further away from the pin. So got that going for us. It's all right. So now we got a 36-footer, only 12 yards for birdie. And we're going to give us a good solid shot on that one. And I completely, Mr. Shankopotamus, that putt. Mr. Shankenstein is in the office today. Jeez. Now, for par, we do luckily get the par. So we do finish the front 9 at even, remaining 9 under for the round. Still one shot back from Fleetwood and Cantley. But now Justin Thomas is starting to nip at our heels. He's at 7 under. He's only 2 back from us. All right, we still got 9 holes to go. So this tournament can go either way. So hold on to your britches, ladies and gentlemen, and get ready for a heck of a last 9. And for this first tee shot on the 10th, we end up taking a good shot on that one, hitting it just up to the green. A simple little 30-yard pitch is all we have coming. It's all we need. Pitching it into a win, so as long as we give it enough, we should be good. But we gave it a little too much. Kind of a surprise there. Did not see that coming. I figured the lob wedge we used would have caught a little bit, but it didn't. So now we got to come back for our birdie putt on a heavily sloped green, and once again we completely miss, inching it by the cup, leaving us with about a little 3-footer for Pariski. And we get it to drop. We are still even, still at 9 under. And we are still trailing in this tournament as Cantley's now at 11 under, Fleetwood at 10. We're still holding off Justin Thomas, beating him by 2 strokes as he remains at 7 under for the round and for the tournament. Here on the 11th, we get a beastly drive down the middle. As the old saying goes, we let the big dog eat, and the wind blew us to the right and into the hefty rough. And a heavily sloped rough, too, so there's no easy getting out of this. And, oh my God. See, look at that. It just pushes it straight to the right. And that shot was so bad, it could have been, almost ended up good. That's how bad it really was. So bad, almost good. So now our third shot, still having to pitch it onto the green from the thick rough, about 30 yards away. We get a hold of that one, but it's going to come up short. That's how thick that rough is. It's going to come up short and leave us with 15 feet for the par on a little left, what looks like a little left to right slope for the green, and we are going to miss it, leaving it within an inch or so. And that's our first real big mistake of the day, dropping us down to 8 under par. And what is that I hear, ladies and gentlemen? Do y'all hear it too? It's the sound of someone choking. Oh wait, that's Bubba Champion's round he's playing today. As we sit here and take the tee on the 12th hole, and we decide we will choke no mo, as we this time only hit it in the light rough because we forget to count for the wind. And now we got a shot heading straight into this wind. About 130 yards away, but we're going to have to play it a lot longer, and that rough is going to hold us up quite a bit. And once again, steep slope. We have got some goofy looking aiming going on. But we do stick it. We do stick it, my friends. We have got a birdie opportunity. Granted, it's from 26 feet, but a birdie opportunity is a birdie opportunity. And we short-sided it. But thanks to that slope, it ends up rolling, only 6 feet past the hole. So no biggie. A little chicken on the bone, but no biggie. As we will drop that comebacker for par. 1 over on the day. 8 under for the tournament. And let's see where we stand. Ooh, after this little break, let's see who's on the 18th hole. And that is going to be Sergio again for par on the 18th. As he will drop that in as he shoots 5 over for the day. Looks like he had a couple double reskies in there. So that's not very good. All right, Justin Thomas dropped a shot, so while we may be at 8 under, we hold third by 2 strokes as we trail Tommy Fleetwood by 2 as well. And Mr. Cantlay is in the lead, beating us by 3, what seems like seemingly impossible strokes to try to catch up. So now here off the next tee box, we do let you big doggy. We let that big beast out down the middle of the fairway on this par 5, setting us up pretty dang close to perfect. And here comes the second shot. We only got 300 yards to go. But once again, now we're battling the loft and the wind. And the wind kind of wins out. I overcompensated. And here we are in the thick stuff. You can't even see us swing the club. That's how thick this stuff really is. And so we get a pretty decent pitch, but as is the normal, I kind of yank it. And I don't compensate for everything. But hey, look, birdie opportunity. All right, 42 feet. Okay, 14 yards. That's what we're looking at. Jeez, 14 yards. Putt, and not only did I miss, I let it hit that slope and run an extra 13 feet past the hole. So that's a really good putt by myself. And luckily I get it, the comeback for par to putt to drop in the right edge of the cup. And it's sad when your best shots are making you par from 13 feet away, and they're still primarily based on luck. All right, so the 14th. It's about 165 yard par 3. This one's got a pretty rough wind we're going to be hitting into. It's 8 feet below, so I'm trying to measure that up right here. I'm like, all right, drop the 8 feet, and then let's make some adjustment for the wind, and I should be good. Within 6 iron, coming at it full swing. And yet I yank that shot, and luckily it kind of bounces off that hard ground and into the thick stuff. As our second shot, there's not a whole lot to green to work with. Not a whole lot of green. So I got to be kind of careful. Major slopage as well. And it lands perfectly, but that ball will roll. Keep rolling. Right on past the cup to 16 feet away. And our comebacker for par. And I'm going to choke. Blow it. And we knock in our bogey putt, our second bogey of the day. So we do drop another stroke down to 7 under. As we are falling further off the lead, it looks like right now we're just trying everything we can to keep our head above water. And so in that process, I find a par 4 that I can reach off the tee. You bet your keister I'm going to go for it. I need it to land in the thick stuff. Ooh, just beyond the thick stuff for the most part, but it is on the green. We are putting for eagle, ladies and gentlemen. Putting for eagle. 32 feet away, straight down. Well, not straight downhill. It's downhill with a right to left break. Pretty decent right to left break at that. And I just don't put enough break on it, as I will knock that putt just by, leaving myself with 7 feet for birdie. Trying to get at least one of those shots back. And I will. I will drop that one. So we are now back to 8 under. Still only 1 over for the day. But it seems like this lead that Fleetwood have and Cantlay has on second is going to be insurmountable. But we do have 3 holes left. Okay, and you never know what can happen in 3 holes, such as making an eagle on the 18th like I did in the previous round. So to start this 16th, par 3, with a 5-wood. And that ball just needs to settle. Kick a little bit left and just settle for me. Settle. And it's going to stop right there just on the fringe, which I don't mind. I've kind of gotten used to the chipping mechanism. Except when I pull it. For some reason, I basically hooked a chip, which seems impossible, but I did it. And instead of going in the cup, I'm left with a little par putt, little tapariski for the par. And I now have 2 holes remaining, down by 3. Keep in mind, it's not impossible. we can do this, ladies and gentlemen. That we can. But we need a good shot off the tee, and oh my goodness. Do we ever get a hold of that one? And we beast it into the short stuff. 294 yards because of this wind. It's killing me. And so now we still have a lovely 200 yards left to go. Heading into a 14-mile-an-hour wind. I'm going to take my 5-wood and try to put some spin on it. And I cannot hit it solid. I completely yanked that one to my left as well. My swing has been off all day. I'm not hitting the greens like I should. I am left with a chip. And it's not that bad of a chip. It's almost going to go in. You've got to be kidding me. And instead of going in, it decides to roll to about 15 feet past the hole. So that's good. All right, look at that. It's actually about 16 feet. Not too much break. But I pull this putt to the left. And that one stroke I gained back from that birdie is gone. It's just bye-bye. Just flew away. Oh, you wanted a birdie? Yeah, no, not no mas. Out of here. 4 strokes back now. Coming to the 18th hole, but we are still in third. I need to maintain that, if anything, for the FedEx Cup points. And this time we get a good, solid drive. Once again off the tee box, right down the middle of the fairway. Setting us up with a beautiful second shot into this par 5 green. And this time, once again, I strike it beautifully. I really do. And that ball is going to roll up 243 yards on the second shot. And we're going to have a simple little pitch. It's only about 60 yards coming into this green. No big deal. But we do have to watch out for that wind. And so I'd rather be long than short and roll it off. But I would not rather yank my pitch shot to the left like I just did. But we get it to hold up, and then the ball starts to roll back on me. And that's kind of embarrassing. So that will lead us with a 17-foot putt for par, or for birdie, rather, here on the 18th. And we cannot get that to fall either. Failed execution was the story of this round. We had opportunities. Just could not come through, as we will finish at 7 under for this tournament. And that was a rough finish. Hard pill to swallow, as the saying goes. Hard pill to swallow, I tell you. And let's see where we did end up on the leaderboard. Let me make sure no one caught us to tie. And no, we did finish in third. We beat Tony Finau, who finished 4th by 1 stroke at 6 under. Justin Thomas dropped back down to 5 under. But Fleetwood and Cantlay would tie at 11 under and have to go to a playoff to decide their victor. Now, some good news that our round did do. One, we got a lot of rival points because Jim Furyk just, I don't know, he can't play anymore. Apparently, he just sucked it up all day. I think that's a pretty fair statement for how he finished. And we completed our first level of the TaylorMade sponsorship. So, luckily for us, that did earn us a driver is now unlocked. So now we're going to look at working our way to the level 2. And that will do it for us at the Jumeirah Club in the Tall Palms Classic. Mr. Cantlay ends up winning. And yeah, just a quick reminder, if you have not subscribed already to the Champ and Sons channel, please do so by hitting that subscribe button. And if you liked our video today and would like to follow us through all our future tournaments, such as the Green Hill Classic coming up, hit that little notification bell icon and give us a thumbs up to make sure we're doing a good job, as we do appreciate it here with the channel. And so with that, I will see y'all next time. So as always, everybody, stay safe. And well, you know how it goes. Later, y'all.